Hi, welcome to the Motown India show. My name is Roy P. Tharian. Today we're not going to talk about cars or bikes, neither is it going to be an interview. Today is a subject which is very close to my heart. Yes, it's about tools. So when Bosch Power Tools called us up and said whether we are interested in reviewing a tool, I jumped in joy. What's this tool about? This is the toolbox. And the subject is Bosch GSR 120 Li. This is a cordless drill machine. We'll talk about it, but before that, let me talk about tools. It's very important that every home has a set of tools. I have a toolbox. You want to see that? Let me show that to you. There you go. Get inside and you'll see what's there in it. Spanners and hammers and pliers and cutters and blades. I've got more. There you go. This is a Durabuilt, and look at that. You have a whole lot of tools here. Interesting? So before I talk about this cordless drill machine, let me talk about a drill machine which I have been using for the last 15 to 20 years. Yes, it is a PSB 422. It's a hammer drill and it's served me quite well. Let me show that to you. And before we do any kind of work with your tool, it is very important that you wear your protective gear. So in this case, the most important thing is you need to cover your eyes with a protective goggle. So let me take this fancy thing off and wear my protective goggles. Well, this is a very handy machine. You can drill any kind of holes on your wall, on metal, into the wood, and for that you require different kinds of bits. The drill bits are different. Now these bits come in different shapes and sizes and they are made of different metals. So how do you differentiate a bit which is meant for masonry work, like for concrete and tiles and walls, and how do you differentiate it from what is used for metal and wood? Well, essentially I will show you that if you see these three, so this is a typical bit for using on walls to drill holes into walls and tiles and concrete. So this is the one. It's got a flatter end here. It's not sharp at the front here. Now you want to see more of this. Let me open this. This is a clearer picture of the flat bits used exclusively for concrete work. Now when it comes to metal and wood, they require that it becomes a little pointed at the, so if you press hard you can hurt yourself here. So this is the one which gets into metal and it can be used for wood also. Now you want to see more of this, I'll show more. These are typically for metal work. So it cuts into metal and into wood also. But you have exclusively for wood also. Now this is something which is typically only used for wood. It's extremely pointed. Now this drills into wood, and makes a hole. Now let's get into action. Now this is a very simple machine. It's got a trigger button here. This has got two speeds, and depending on your needs, you press. You press harder. Just like in a vehicle, we all know what RPM is. So this moves on a higher RPM. Then you have the button here in this old machine where if you move it here, it gets the role of a hammer drill. And when you push it back, it's the normal drill. I explained to you these three bits. Now these are fitted into what's known as a little gap here, that's known as a chuck. So in a traditional machine like this, you need a chuck key. So each time you have to put something, each time you have to insert a bit. Once you insert it, you tighten it and then further ensure that it is tightened by using this chuck key. So the three little holes here, you need to make sure it's real tight. Now I'm going to try this on a piece of wood. So I said this is the wood fellow. So let me see how this acts. And I'm going to push it down. There you go. It's good. It's done its bit. I'm going to put this aside. I'm going to take this bit out and try to use the same bit on this new machine, on this new product of Bosch, which is a cordless one. Now let me explain to you this Bosch machine. Now let me talk about the finer points of this Bosch Professional GSR 120 Li. This is basically a machine that runs on lithium-ion batteries. Now the first things first, if you see these little grips here at the two ends, you just need to press it and there you go. That's your lithium-ion battery, as simple as that. This needs to be put into the adapter which is given, and just put it in and plug it in, and it takes approximately 1 hour for it to be fully charged. Once it's charged, you push it back, it clicks in. Now this button, if you see on both sides, this little red button here, now this can move either way. Now if you put it in the center, it means it's locked. So if I press the trigger button, nothing moves. Got it? But if you put it on one side, it moves clockwise. Now if I push it here, it moves anti-clockwise. Now this machine further has 2 gears, 1 and 2. So you want better output, 2, better speed, 2, or else 1 is good enough. And then there is this little knob here. Now, this, if you see 1 to 5 to 10 to 20. Now this knob, as you rotate to the maximum, it means you get higher torque levels. Now this area is the chuck. Now this is the holder basically. This holds, if I push it out, now if you see these 3 metal things coming out, they're the ones which, once tightened, grips your bit. The interesting part about this machine is you don't need a chuck key. So like in this traditional machine, you had a chuck key. You know, this is the one. When you put it here, you tighten it. Now you don't need this at all. You don't need the wires. And though this drills, it doesn't let you screw and unscrew. Is as effective as the big guy here. Full points for that. Now it's so easy to take the bit out. So this cordless Bosch power tool has really done remarkably well, as good as this drill machine here. Now that's for the wood. Let me try it with a separate bit, whether this works on concrete. Even if you're working in the dark and there's no light around, the moment I press it, you can see the light here. You can see the exact spot where you are drilling. Whenever you're about to drill on a slippery surface, whether it's a ceramic tile or a piece of metal like this, it's very important that you make a little punch out there. So that's where you use something known as a center punch. There you go. You give it a little punch, it dents inside. Once it dents, this sharp fellow is able to sit in. It has made a little, impact there. Almost an equal impact made by a heavier machine. So this cordless fellow is effective to a great extent. While this Bosch PSP drill is quite a versatile guy, this small fellow is a little better in terms of the function it offers. I have noticed that in this little demo box up there, they have given me a few bits which are like ordinary ones, except for these two, which are screwdriver bits. Now what does this fellow do with this machine? The advantage here is, which this big fellow cannot do, is that it can also screw and unscrew. A lot of you must be wondering, how long does this lithium-ion battery last? Well, we have not checked it out. We asked the company. They don't want to talk about it. They say it depends on the kind of work you do with this machine. This small fellow, it's quite versatile, quite competent, and seems to be very handy. And since this is cordless, this drill machine can move anywhere with you to any place where this cannot reach, because it's limited by its umbilical cord, the wire. This is free as a free bird. I hope you are convinced by the capability of this little fellow, the GSR 120 Li Bosch power tool. This is cordless and it has great advantage over one with a wire. I hope you have liked this video. If you have, do not forget to give us a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed to the Motown India channel, do so now. And most important, across our social media platforms, like us or subscribe as the case may be. Till the next time, ciao.